As always with these auctions, there's a lot of 911s around. That's just the way it is. They always seem to do quite well. 911s are popular for a reason. They're great cars, but you always see them around. Perhaps the Focus ST isn't necessarily the most classic of classic cars. I actually went to road test one of those when they were new, and the Ford wouldn't let me because I was too young, which is why I ended up buying a Vantage, because Aston Martin would actually let me test drive one at, I think I was 21 years old at the point. It was a used car, but it was a much better car to end up with, and I've still got that car, whereas I'm not sure I'd still have a Focus. This Transit drop side is very, very clean, looks like it's been restored. I always find it fascinating with commercial classics where people spend a fortune restoring them and then sell them for very little money, which I find, like I said, fascinating. I'm glad they do, because we don't get many of these commercials actually saved. This Silver Shadow that's coming up on your right was a really lovely, sweet-looking car. It's much nicer condition than mine in terms of cosmetics, and it really is quite pretty. I would happily drive it home. It's not perfect by any means, but it looks well worth a guide of, I think, £12,000 to £15,000. This Range Rover LSE that's just gone past us is also a very, very low mileage car. It's less than 1,000 miles from new. It's, but I believe, warranted mileage. It's one owner, I think, and it's been sat in the garage, and it's very, very original, obviously, because it's done absolutely nothing in its life. That's another car that I'm curious to watch. The guide on that is between £30,000 and £50,000. I did have an LSE, but it wasn't nearly as nice as that one. I'm curious to see what it makes. I'm unsure which of these Ferraris I take. I think because it's an F1 gearbox 355, I'd have to take the 328. And you know what? If I was going to buy it, I would actually just go and use it and put lots and lots and lots of miles on it, because low mileage classics don't really do anything for me. And what is the point in having a car with no miles on it? One you can just sit and look at. That's no fun for anyone. There's this Jaguar Mark II. There's a couple of Mark 1s outside in the project section, which you'll see later, or you might have seen in another video already. Both of those are not in the best of conditions, let's say. Coming up, you've got a Jaguar Mark 10, and then there's a whole series of more everyman classics. So when I was here on Friday, the shutter door was shut, but normally these cars will run through first in the auction proceedings, then some of those cars in that immediate outside area. All the outside cars run through, and then you go into the other side. So all the cars you just looked at were for Sunday. These are Saturday's cars. Everyman Classics, you've got a few interesting things. You've got this little Triumph, you've got that 190E, this little Renault Dauphine I know has already gone through by the time I'm posting this video, and it made 8,600 plus fees, which was above the guide. I think the guide was 628 or 627, something like that. This Volvo 850 T5R also did more than its guide. I think that's sold for 10.2 or 10.4 plus fees. It's an automatic car, but it looked quite sinister in black, I thought. I'm unsure. I think I'd quite like to have a go at one of these. I'm not sure